I know you didn't believe it because I said I was on 140 milligrams of test, HRT, every single week, but the blood work, it's going to show you that I'm actually natural. Coach Greg, in today's video, I'm going over my blood work and I'm going to show you I'm 100% natural. You know, I know you didn't believe it because I said I was on 140 milligrams of test, HRT, every single week, but the blood work, it's going to show you that I'm actually natural, or at least you're going to think it. And so I'm going to be going over the results and going to explain why I'm upping my doses. That's right. I'm going on more freaking testosterone than freaking last time. And so there's 11 pages of data that's in here. And I can tell you that only 2 things were flagged. Flags means it's out of the reference range, that it's possibly not good. And so full disclosure, I had bronchitis. Remember, I had the coughing. I was sick for a long time, longest I've ever been sick that I can remember. And so I got blood work done at the end of this. And so my neutrophils were high and my lymphocytes were low, and that's a clear sign of an infection, that you're sick with something, and so that makes sense. And so I was not surprised, as when I got the blood work done, I was holding in coughs, had a mask on, the whole thing, and so I was fully expecting this to happen. But aside from this, everything else was the healthiest blood work I've ever had in my entire life. And remember, I'm 47, abused PDs for over 10 years, but I am eating healthier than last time, and I'm doing a lot of cardio. And so please take note of that. I abused steroids for 10 years, yet my blood work is very healthy. Getting right into what you're the most curious, testosterone. What was my total testosterone? And well, it's 18.87 nanomoles per liter, and if that is converted to nanograms per deciliter, it's about 545. And I'm on hormone replacement therapy. I'm literally injecting testosterone exogenously into my body. But remember, Alex Eubank was at 932, and many others say, oh, it's only at 700 or 800. High normal. We need it to be at 1,000, maybe even 1,200. I'm at 545. Do you not think I feel healthy? I feel perfectly fine at 545, and my blood work, it's immaculate. And so do you really think that if you're walking around and your test levels are at 550 that, oh, poor you can't build any muscle? You have the same testosterone levels as I do. Now, on the other hand, the bioavailable testosterone, that's the testosterone your body can actually use. Mine was 9.06, reference range 2.5 to 10. And so that is fairly high within the reference range. And the reason for that is my SHBG, it's rather low. It's still in the reference range, but it's only 15.7, normal being 13.5 to 71. And so because I have lower levels of SHBG, the testosterone that I'm injecting is more free to do its work and allow me to build muscle. When I was doing abusive doses of steroids back in my past as a pro bodybuilder, my SHBG would be far lower. My testosterone obviously was through the roof. And so if somebody were to post this blood work and say, look, my testosterone levels, they're normal, 545, and my bioavailable test, it's within the normal reference range. And look, my SHBG, it's in the normal range. So I'm 100% natural. Would you believe them? Probably would. But guess what? Do I look natural to you? I'm telling you I'm not natural. I was injecting testosterone prescribed by my doctor, 100% legal, and I'm not natural, and I have a blood work like this. Just because somebody says, hey, I got my testosterone levels done, and it's only this much, does not prove they're natural. Up next, my hematocrit, my red blood cells, hemoglobin, very normal, right in the middle of what you'd want to see. And in the past, when I was abusing steroids, my red blood cell count was very high. It was flagged. And what this means is your blood, it's thicker than last time, kind of like molasses, and it's sludgy. It can clog up. And so be very careful when using testosterone, because if you have too many red blood cells, some people, they literally have to bloodlet. They have to release some of the blood. They'll donate blood and so on, because it's not healthy to have too many red blood cells. And so please be careful with that. And so my hemoglobin, 156, normal being 140 to 180, and red blood cell count, 4.9, with normal being 4.5 to 6.5. So you can see absolutely no problem with that. And so the reason this is important is many people, especially in North America, have horrible diets. They're eating so much fast food, junk food, fatty foods, and so on. And so their triglycerides going to be very high. And so as you can see, my diet, very healthy, at least based on what the blood work's telling me. LDL, the bad cholesterol, the kind you don't want a ton of, I only have 1.78. Reference range is 0 to 3.5, so right around in the middle. And the HDL, that's the good cholesterol, I have enough of that. And so my HDL, the good cholesterol, it's 1.28. Anything over 1 is good. And I can tell you, when I used to abuse steroids, this was always below the reference range. So any cycle that I'd ever done, my cholesterol was out of whack, not good. So just because you're on medication from your doctor, that you're doing HRT, doesn't mean you're going to have testosterone levels through the roof or that you're somehow not healthy. And so my EGFR, a measure of kidney function, it's above 90. Anyone that's above 90, this is what you're looking for. I've never in my life, even while abusing steroids, had any number below 90. And so what was my glucose? Well, you're supposed to fast for this, but I didn't want to fast, so I ate breakfast anyway. Went in, here's the results. 4.8. Normal is between 3.8 and 7.8, and when you eat, it actually raises it higher. And so I'm very glucose sensitive. I can handle my sugars. I can eat the way I want. So clearly my digestion is on point. And so up next, my creatinine, a measure of kidney function. And this one, it surprised me. It's the lowest it's ever been. The normal reference range is 64 to 104. I was 64. That's the bottom end. Means even if I were abusing performance enhancing drugs, my creatinine levels will still be normal. And that is verified by all the blood work I've ever done in my life. I was never, ever above 100. Many people who use steroids, that number gets to 110, 120, 130. It becomes dangerous for me. Perhaps it's my genetics. I was very lucky. Even when abusing, test, trend, you name it, taken everything, including the kitchen sink, never had high creatinine levels, but that's me. Just because I got away with it doesn't mean that you will. And trust me, I've coached several clients who have had very high creatinine levels, enough so that I was highly concerned. And so I'm very fortunate to see numbers as such as this. Up next, ALT and AST. Mine, very good. ALT, 34. Reference range from 0 to 54. And I fully expected this to be high. As you know, I was sick. I was taking Tylenol and so on. And so I thought perhaps my liver is going to be stressed. But even taking the Tylenols, being sick, it still came out as good as this. Now, if I were abusing steroids, if I was doing things in secret, taking Anavar, T-ball, Wintrol, you name it, my liver would be stressed from the orals, and that would cause elevated levels. And so if somebody says, yeah, I'm 100% natural, my testosterone levels are 545, see, 100% natural, but then the AST comes back as 100. You're thinking, how is that possible? Why is it so damaged? And they're going to argue, oh, it's because I went to the gym and worked out. Oh, my creatinine levels is because I took in creatine. Please don't dismiss the test. Just because it's possible that it was caused by something innocent doesn't mean it was. And so if you do get a negative result, don't just brush it off. Be serious about your health and do something about it. And you might be asking, what is my LH or FSH, of which the doctor did not test because he knows I'm on exogenous testosterone, which would cause it to be very low, approaching 0. And so no reason to test this. And so if somebody avoids showing that, you have to ask, why would they avoid it? Are they already on testosterone? And that's why they're not showing it? Because if they're natural, their LH and FSH are not going to be very low. It should be in the normal reference range. And so we're considering upping my testosterone levels. Although this is very healthy, it appears I could take a little bit more and still be within healthy framework. And so I'm doing 100 milligrams every 5 days. And so I may in fact go to doing 100 milligrams every 4 days. Doing so every 4 days rather than every 5 would give a slightly lower peak. And so we're hoping that that would make me feel even better than last time. And so if you are experiencing fatigue, something is just wrong, your heart doesn't feel good, or perhaps you just don't feel like yourself, go and check yourself out at a doctor. You can request blood work, see how you're going to make out. And if you are looking for a natural way to boost your testosterone, consider getting G-Test or 3-Test from my Harder Than Last Time supplement line. We have so many different supplements. You have to go to the website to check them all out. I can't list them all here. And if something does interest you, don't forget to enter code Greg because you do want to save yourself 10% off. And if you are concerned with your liver, look no further than NAC. Hard to top this. I recommend anyone taking performance enhancing drugs, drinking, doing anything, take NAC. Gonna make you healthier than last time. Subscribe, click the bell button, like the video if you liked it. In fact, watch one of those 2 bloops. Please watch, add a comment. And if you're interested in the cookbook, the training books, that Circle Diet book, My Life's Work, How Do You Lose Weight and Keep It Off for the Rest of Your Life, as well as any of the Harder Than Last Time clothing line, get that all on the website. Please go right away, click the link in the description, and until next time, I am out.